back to the Money Man channel. It's Super Bowl Sunday and I got some inspiration to make a video, and I was thinking about this the other day, and I'm gonna tell you guys, I guess, my experience when transitioning from a gas vehicle or an ICE vehicle to an electric. And there's really two categories I wanted to talk about related to that. And the first one is being how the transition is, so the things you need to adjust to, a couple configurations in the Tesla that I think can make your life simpler, or how it just feels to transition from gas to electric, because there really is a difference. And even if I wanted to go back to gas, it's so hard because driving in an electric vehicle is so much different. So I'm going to talk about that. And then the second experience I'll talk to you guys about is charging. So how can you charge? Can you use a standard outlet in your house that you could just plug it in like you would like your phone or your computer charger? How that works, how long it would take, and then the other options, so a supercharger or maybe a charge point or an EV Go. Like, there's so many options. I'm going to explain to you the transition and what I do. All right, guys, so stay tuned. All right, guys, so the first category is transitioning from gas to electric. And the biggest things that I've seen are really the regenerative braking. What that does essentially is it's one pedal driving. So when you're on the gas, and it's not really a gas pedal, but on the accelerator, if you will, when you're pressing on it and you let go, this car's going to slow down for you to a complete stop. Now there's a way that you can configure it so that it creeps, meaning that when you let off, it kind of continues to go like a gas car would. You can turn that off, meaning that when you let your foot off the gas, once the car, let's say you let off and you're coming up to a red light, it'll completely stop or hold for you. There's a setting to hold, and that's what I have it on. So essentially what happens is I'm on the accelerator, and as I let off gradually and I'm coming up to a stop sign or a red light, it will come to a complete stop or a hold. Also, if I'm going downhill, right? So if I'm driving downhill and I'm letting off the accelerator, if I let off completely and I'm on a slope and I'm halfway on that slope and I'm essentially looking down, even if my foot's completely off the gas, the car's gonna stop. It's gonna hold for me. So I really like that because you don't have to switch your right foot back and forth between the gas and the brake. I really think that's a huge game changer. Now, the other thing that I also like is how you use the, I guess the toggle, if you would. So in another car or in a gas car, instead of having the console in the middle where you're changing between the gears, you just have the toggle on the right, so you're pushing up for reverse, down to drive, and then you push the button in to park. So I really like that. Instead of having to kind of be in the center, you do everything just from one handle next to the steering wheel, and that's how it changes everything for you. Now, another thing too that's a big transition, and you can say this is very millennial of me, but not having to carry around keys to unlock your car or lock it, open the trunk, things like that. You could do everything from your phone. So, and you don't have to set up your phone as a key, but it's just more convenient that way. So if you were to actually use the key itself, you would get it looks like a credit card. You would use that to tap the window, and then it unlocks the car. So not having to carry around keys, I think, is really beneficial. And it's not just like you carry your phone around and you could just unlock your car with it. I mean, you could go up to the door and unlock it, because when you're on Bluetooth, it recognizes that you're close enough to open the door. But you can do so many other things. You can put the seat warmers on, you can change the climate in the car, you can crack the windows. If you wanted to do that, you can open the front, you can open the trunk. If you're in your house and there's a software upgrade for the Tesla and you wanted to do it without having to leave the house, you could do that. As long as your car is connected to Wi-Fi, you can go on the app, say upgrade my car, and as you're sitting in it, it's literally just upgrading for you. So that's just extremely convenient. And if you wanted to do upgrades similar to like your phone, you really don't have to leave your house or do anything. As long as you're connected to Wi-Fi, you're good to go. Now that's really just the things that I find as beneficial for having an electric car versus a gas. Now, the other things that I would say related to charging now, in terms of like your options, right? So you have a couple options. You could charge at home. So you could do a standard plug-in, and you get the, in your trunk on delivery day, you get a package with a standard charger that you can just plug in anywhere. Like if you have an outlet on the side of your house or in your garage, you could just plug it in. And that would essentially, what it does is it gives you about 4 to 5 miles of range per hour. So what that means is if you're charging it for 10 hours, you get between 40 and 50 miles of range. I think the statistic is the average person drives between 30 and 80 miles per day. So that could just be enough for you. You might not need a NEMA charger or a larger I guess voltage in your house to charge it quicker. If you want, obviously you can. I think it's between $500 and $1,000 to get that set up, and then whatever it tacks onto your electric bill per month is obviously the added on cost as well. So I live in an apartment complex, and I charge two ways. I either charge through ChargePoint, which is an app that you could download on your phone for free, and essentially what you do is you when you open it up, you see a map of the different locations near you. And some of them cost money, but some of them don't. So what I do is I have plenty. When I lived in New Jersey, I had plenty, and I actually had one at work. I would just go charge there for free. Same thing, we moved to Florida. I haven't gone back into the office since I moved. I will be going in the next couple months, and I can figure that out later. But there are some charge point stations around me that are free, and when we go shopping or whatever the case is, I'll plug it in. I get probably between, if I had to guess, 10 and 20 miles of range per hour. Yeah, something like that, between 10 and 20 miles of range per hour, closer to the 20 mark. So after 6 hours, I get like 120 miles added to my car. So I'll use ChargePoint, and again, since that takes about 6 hours to charge it up full, 6 to 8 hours, if I don't use ChargePoint, I'm just going to go to a supercharger, and that takes about 25 to 30 minutes for the car to charge to full, and it costs between $9 and $11. So you're still saving money as opposed to using gas. So again, I guess what I'm trying to say is, one, you can conveniently charge from your house if you just have a standard plug-in. You get between 40 and 50 miles a night if you plug it in for 10 hours. So that's a huge bonus, number one. Number two, there's multiple options to charge. You have ChargePoint, which could be free in your area. And then three, you have Supercharger, which is only $10 approximately if you're on a standard Range Plus to charge every time, which is still cheaper than gas. So you're saving money. It's super convenient. And I will say, and I'll post a video of the things that I dislike. Obviously, I have a standard Range Plus, and the range is about, they say, what's it, like 260 miles of range. I don't get that much. I get maybe 220, 230. And I mean, I don't drive too much because I'm not commuting to work yet. So I think when I start commuting, although I can charge at work, for me, it won't be that big of a deal. But yeah, charging is a little bit of a hassle, I would say. Just because if I could plug in with a standard outlet just at our house, it would be, and it took 5 hours, it would be a no-brainer. And I think over time, when they start making maybe solar panel attachments that you could put on your car, whatever the case is, to charge as you go, or they make the at-home charging more powerful, I think we'll start seeing a bigger adoption for EVs. But overall, again, my experience with charging and the transition from gas to electric has been great. There's so many perks, and just driving the car feels good. The acceleration is phenomenal. When you step on the gas, it goes. Like, you stick to the back of your seat. So there's so many things that I really like about it. But I will say, as a standard Range Plus owner, my fiance has a gas vehicle, and we need that for road trips. Like, I drove 900 miles from New Jersey to Florida. I think when I plugged it into the system, it routed me for to stop 8 or 9 times, and it wasn't that big of a deal. It was like 20 to 30 minutes every time. I would use the bathroom or get food or something, and it would go by so fast. But if we're road tripping or doing something, you got to have a gas car. You can't just have a standard Range Plus, in my opinion. If you get a performance range, you should be fine because you get a lot more range. But if you're getting a standard Range Plus, I still think you need a gas car as well. So just my 2 cents, guys. Bengals or or Rams today, I don't know. I'm from New Jersey, so I like OBJ. I like Cooper Kupp. So, but then I also like Joe Burrow, and I'm a Cal Scrooby fan. He's a rapper from Cincinnati, and he likes the Bengals. So I'm torn up. I'm just gonna enjoy tonight. Maybe throw in a couple bets. Post down below who you guys are rooting for, Cincinnati or LA. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Plenty more to come. See you later, guys. Bye.